Hello everyone, my name is Jesse. This is The Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself, and today is, surprisingly, the return of Guild Wars. I thought this was a debut, but I've heard this game one time 2 years ago. This is Guild Wars 2 Aurene, Dragon Full of Light from the channel McLean Dimer, which might be the composer. And then we have Tarir, The Forgotten City. Now I did notice something. This one says Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, and this one says Guild Wars 2 Living World, so let me know what's up with that. Requested by Yoshi and K Bedlam. Let's get right into it. I do not remember anything of the first time I heard Guild Wars, but it was a while ago. Yep, let's go. Aurene, Dragon Full of Light. Season 4. Oh, this sounds like a song in Xenoblade 2. Two choirs. In the meantime, I'm gonna look up the other song I did for this game. Song title. Loud. Take flight? Because dragon, right? Wow, this is really nice. Man, I really wish I was like seeing gameplay with this right now, because I know this hits with gameplay. I can just feel it. Oh, this song is short. It's loud. Oh, that's good. Character theme? Who is Aurene and why did they get their own song? That's so mystical. I thought this was kind of funny, but I pulled up, I just literally typed in like Guild Wars and then my channel name, and I've only done this one song. You can see it's called Fear Not. Hey, it's me. But then like it gives me the option to subscribe to myself. I wonder if I can even do that. But I've only heard this game once, called Fear Not This Night. That was a while ago. Yeah, I don't remember. Dude. So, okay, I'm going to keep this one brief because I think it's kind of obvious where I'm going to go with this one. Obviously, I have no context. I really love songs like this quite a bit. It reminds me of some of my favorite games like God of War, which I've compared to in the past, where I love hearing them in-game but have no clue like how to feel. I think it's the best way to put it. Like, besides feeling, you know, good and like, wow, that's really impressive musically, and I can kind of, you know, see the chord structure and do all that. The overall feeling is I don't know how to feel. Besides, you know what it feels like? It's FOMO, fear of missing out. I guess that's the kind of closest comparison. When I hear songs like this, it's just like, wow, please show me the gameplay, because I can just feel the epicness of it. And in this case, it seems to be a character theme, right? Aurene, dragon full of light. To me, when I hear that, immediately what comes to mind is like Monster Hunter, where like all these huge monsters have their, and usually dragons, have their own names and their own kind of like lore. And it just reminded me of that. Although the music was nothing like Monster Hunter, it felt like we're being introduced to Aurene. Or Aurene has passed, like we defeated Aurene. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a friendly character. I have no clue. But I did like the double choir and just really beautiful melodies. So it's really simple. That's pretty much it. Was there anything else I wanted to say? I felt like there was something else I was forgetting. Maybe I'll remember the next one. Actually, while I'm here, let me check very quickly if there is any context for these. No, not for this one at least. Let me check the next one just in case. Well, the next one has looks like a city name, so, or a town theme. Oh, the next one does have some context. Okay, I'll read it after. Okay. Well, let me know what Guild Wars is, but we still have another song to listen to. Oh, yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. This song sounds really similar to a town theme in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you don't want spoilers for that, you should probably ignore this and skip to the next song. But in Tantal, there's the outside theme, and then there's the town theme, which is Shadow of the Lowlands from Yasunori Mitsuda, one of the few songs from him in that game. And I think which has its own music video, by the way, on this channel, or on YouTube. So if you like stuff like this, perhaps check out Shadow of the Lowlands. It's a really catchy song and a very similar vibe. But that's totally different, right? Because that one's a town theme, whereas this one, I don't get town themes at all. Anyway, Tarir, the Forgotten City. Now, this has a note on it, which I'll read later, but I'm aware of it now, so I'll just let you know that. Oh, actually, now I'm conflicted. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is from the channel Aurene. I don't know if I said that. Did I say that? I think I might have said that. Okay. This is Tarir, the Forgotten City. I like the way that sounds. I'm expecting, you know what? I'm just going to take a guess. Hand percussion. I don't know why. Forgotten City, I think of like, I don't know. All right, let's go. I do feel like it's going to be a mostly acoustic sound, but we'll see. Damn, what is Guild Wars? That was fun. I heard the flute player's breath going. I'm gonna guess this is a pretty immersive world. Is that putting it lightly? Okay, maybe no hand percussion. It's orchestral though. Sounds like it's getting faster. I think the tempo increased a little bit. I'll have to test it later, but it felt like it went up like 5 BPM or something. Little bells. Very nice horn there. Okay, now it's making me think of like kind of a royal city, but it's a forgotten city. It sounds like a kingdom to me, or maybe a kingdom in ruins. It almost sounds like a holiday song. It has a little bit of a Christmas feel to it. Is it cold here? Snowy? It's giving me cold. Whoa. Just dropped a whole bunch of papers. It sounds very enchanting. It's a word I don't use often. Or I don't. But it sounds enchanting. Like one of those cities that has like something in the middle of it, like in the town square, where people gather around. Again, I have Xenoblade in mind. Guild Wars, huh? Yeah. So I had like a really specific setting in mind. I don't know why. I guess, well, the song felt very cold to me. It had like this snow-like sound to me, but also sounded kind of royal. Forgotten City, though. I think Forgotten City, dilapidated, overrun by ruins, or kind of deserty, like, nature has taken over. And yeah, so I keep thinking stuff like maybe like 2 examples of games I played. What's an example? In Nier Replicant, there's Facade, kind of like Sand Kingdom. But also in the recent game I played Octopath Traveler. I don't remember the exact location. But it's not really a spoiler. But in a certain Scholars chapter, towards the end, there's a kind of like ruinous place you visit. So I'd like, they're 2 very separate settings, but that's 2 that came to mind. But also being cold. So I guess if I had to get like a really specific shot in the dark, it's like a dilapidated, old, ruinous kingdom in winter. Oh, that also has something. You know what? The bells and all that kind of gave me this like what did I say, enchanting feel. And for that, again, I thought it was Xenoblade, but this time 1. This is not a spoiler. It's the first city you go, like your very first 5 minutes. The main hometown has like this beacon of light in the middle of town. So it's like I kind of had that in my head too, like this somewhere where people congregate, or is that the right word? But like just something special about this town as opposed to just being a town, which is weird. Like every reaction is different. Sometimes I'll get like a vague visual, sometimes I'll get nothing, and then sometimes it's very specific and it's random as hell. It's kind of like dreams. I don't know if anyone else has this same feeling. And probably not, because I feel like everyone's dreams differently, because I've heard people can like choose their dreams and kind of influence them. Mine are totally random. Like sometimes I won't have one for like months at a time. Sometimes it'll be like a horse riding a surfboard. Doesn't make any sense, So that's kind of the same way I treat the reactions. It's just whatever comes to mind. But basically, I feel like we heard 2 humongous sides of the spectrum of a character introduction that's very important, and then we heard just like a random town theme that may not be so important. Well, I don't want to say not important to the story or anything, but just like one of the many towns you visit. I don't know what kind of game this is, if it's an RPG, if it's an action adventure, I don't know. But that's where you guys come in. And oh, the last thing I was going to say is the requester said this is Lena Rain, and this is their favorite song from the game. So I didn't know this, but Lena Rain apparently used to go by Lena Chappelle. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, and I had no idea that that she had a different name, but also that their composition style is this vast. For those that don't know, Lena Rain is the composer of Celeste, which is way different than this. Totally different. Then again, I've never really looked into her backlog of games that she's composed, but Celeste and Guild Wars 2, in my head, couldn't be any further apart. At least, when I think of Celeste, I think of, that 8-bit looking game, side-scroller, very difficult platformer. I don't get these vibes here at all. So that's really impressive. I don't know which one came first. And then that also makes me think, how many composers are on this? Does this just have like a bunch of guest composers? Because the first one, I don't think... The first one, the channel says... Oh, actually, okay. It does say. So the channel is McLean Dimer. So it's at least 2 composers. I don't know. You guys can tell me. Whatever. Also, one other thing that just came to mind. I feel like Guild Wars is one of those games that maybe is just like... I don't want to say MMO, but it gives me the feeling... Like, okay. How do I say this without sounding mean? Guild Wars sounds very like a kind of blanket... how do I say this? It sounds like the title of a video game that is just meant to just kind of go on forever. It doesn't really sound... I'm trying not to sound mean here, but it doesn't sound like really like impactful. It just sounds like a kind of a generic name, for lack of a better term. And when I think of something like Guild Wars, it makes me think of like a constantly going like multiplayer game that I guess like an MMO. I guess something like an MMO. I don't know where I was going with that, but I guess what I was trying to say is that the Guild Wars title doesn't really put anything in my head. I think when you put war in the title of a game, it can only mean so many things, right? 2 opposing sides. So, or many opposing sides. I don't know. Anyways, feel free to tell me whatever. But that was cool. It was nice hearing another side of Lena Rain, and apparently went by someone else, or another name. Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, which I'm guessing is an expansion. I don't know. Cool. Thank you to the requesters. Thank you to everyone you see here. That was really fun. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. I hope you have a good night. Peace.